We never received our payment last night.
What do you mean?
You're making a mistake.
The money never made it to the job site.
I need my money as soon as possible.
Ekaterina, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I watched the movie recently last night, and it's a wild trip. This movie, like so many things happen in the first 30 minutes.
Oh wow! Really?
How was that experience being with this kind of superstars? Because you have Antonio Banderas, you have Jonathan, you have Melissa Leo, you have a great group of people that have been in the industry for a long time. How was that experience? And then you learn something from them.
I mean, it was very humbling. I was very honored to be part of this group, obviously. It was amazing to work with them. Like, I wanted to learn as much as I can and like see what they're doing. I'm like, what are they doing? How are they prepping? I mean, I was lucky to be like, I had quite a big part this time, so I was on set for a while. And it was nice to get to know them as people, you know, because we know them as their characters, and we could imagine what they, you know, would be like. But it was very nice to just get to know them as people and get to play with them, you know, to like create this film and be silly and just go for it.
One of the things that I love about this kind of movies is the rhythm. It's super fast. Everything's super fast. When you were reading the script, do you got any sense of how fast this movie, the pace is? Because it's kind of style that they have in England to tell stories this fast. And I wonder if you have like any sense of that while you're reading the script.
It's like, you know, when you read a book and you have it in your head and then you see a film and it's different, you're like, whoa, this is not how I imagined it. So it's never 100% what I thought it would be. So, you know, I realized the tempo, I realized the style of the film, you know, like dialogue and relationships and everything. I thought the way they edited was super cool, like, because they don't tell you in the script how they're gonna do it, like, right, like they probably don't know yet. They probably figure out like once they start editing. I don't know, but so I knew it was gonna be fast. It was, I think, faster and more exciting when I watched it.
What is your definition, your personal definition of violence? This movie is super violent. It has a lot of shooting, a lot of blood, a lot of you know, confrontation. And I wonder, as an actress, but what is your personal definition of violence in art, in general, in art, in movies like this?
I think it depends on the violence and what it means, right? I think, I mean, even as an audience member, sometimes I watch them like, oh, that's too much. But sometimes films get away with that. I think if it's used as a comedic sense, almost like, you know, it's like, it's entertainment here. Like, this film is, I think, about allowing people to sort of have fun, be entertained, step back from their lives. So I think it really depends on how it's being used.
Because for me, this movie has this borderline of have action, having violence, have a lot of comedy, because the thing that these people get involved, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. It's like I'm just dying to see how everything's gonna resolve. And I think a lot of it has to do with the chemistry the actors has, and the direction the Jon have also. How do you build a chemistry when you don't have like a main character, but you have like a different main characters, and then you have to build this chemistry given each one of those characters, like prime time in the screen, because it's important that they show what is the purpose.
Chemistry gets created through, I mean, understanding your character, obviously, but then it's basic humanity, right? It's all about like letting go and playing, and, you know, animals play, like humans play. As adults, we sort of forget to play sometimes. But I think being on set, I mean, I call it's a time off. Like, I do all my work before I show up on set. That's my time to play. Like, I'm not working anymore. And I think that's when magic happens, when you are not in the control room, when you are just there, present, being there for another actor and just playing.
When you create a character like yours, did you get to choose how it's gonna speak, how it's gonna dress, like, or do you have this freedom on creating your own character, or you have to be so attached to the script they maybe get bored, or they don't let you perform as an actress?
So I think it depends on the script and on the film. Like in this particular film, the director John was very he was very cooperative. He gave us a lot of freedom to do to bring what the best we could bring to the table. So I think with Megan, I had quite a bit of freedom. Like there was obviously I wouldn't go and make something up that's not in the script, right? Because my job as an actor is to serve the script so that the film could essentially serve the audience. So I think bringing her to life, I take everything I can from the script. I read it a bunch, I do a lot of work, and then things sort of, again, they come out in the moment, the magic happens, and I live with her for a while, and I think, how would she talk? How would she walk? So there's a lot of things that sort of, I think when I work on the character, I have to listen, the character sort of tells me how she is, it's not like I can't go and be like, oh, she's going to walk that way. That's not going to look good, I think.
You said something important. It's about serving the audience. And I wonder, when you show these kind of movies, do you as an actress, do you have an expectation about the feedback that you might have? Because your chemistry first is with Jonathan Rhys Meyers. This is how we get to know your character at first, and then something happened, and we don't know about your character for a while. And then it's just about the expectation that probably you have, how the audience is going to react. Because when you say serve the audience, I love that. And I just imagine people watching the movie and having reactions. You as an artist, do you have always expectation about how people are going to react after you finish a movie?
I think my job as an actor to make sure that I serve, my character, that I serve the script so that, the script can essentially serve the audience. I always think, what does the audience need in this moment, right? Like, what's the purpose of this line? What is my character doing? What do they need? So I always try to approach my work from, what do they need in this moment? Like, why is this moment here? But then once I've done my work, I think it's I sort of leave it. It's up to them to experience and enjoy it, or hopefully enjoy it. So it's I wouldn't say I worry about how they would perceive it, because it's not within my control zone.
Because for me, these kind of movies, it just remind me a lot of the movies that I grew up watching, what in the 90s and early 2000s, when sometimes the plot is not that important. It's just the action. It's just what's going on, just how cool the characters are. And those movies back in the 90s and early 2000s, they were based mostly on a lot of their characters. And even the secondary characters, they were super important. And that's what I mean with my question. Because I feel this movie, particularly, it's based on characters. When we met Antonio Banderas' character, that we don't know if it's comic or violent or like crazy, and then we started getting to know the other characters, that they're borderline funny, but they're violent and they're criminals, but they're borderline funny, and that fine line between being comic and being violent, it's kind of, I think, is getting with the rhythm of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I love that script. It was different. I personally love comedy. Like, I am such a fan of comedy. I find it just makes my life better. If I have a bad day, I come home, I turn on comedy, and it's just like, I feel like, okay, everything's going to be okay. So for me, that script was so exciting because it was comedic. Like, there is violence, but it's sort of in this comedic silly. It doesn't take itself too seriously, this film, and that's what I love about it.
But what I mean also is the situation. I don't know if you're familiar with Matthew Vaughn movies or Guy Ritchie movies. They have this vibe of, okay, this is criminals, but sometimes they don't know what they're doing, and they make a lot of mistakes. And I think that part of the mistakes, it's the thing that make them funny. And I wonder what if you could choose, I don't know, 3 movies that are comedic that you can recommend me. And what movies you might say they change your life and probably build something in you that makes you love comedy?
I love Friends. I watch them all the time, the TV series. I mean, it's my go-to, whether I have, a difficult day or an easy day. I just find they touch on topics that we all have to deal with. And they make me feel like, okay, I didn't have a good day. Neither did they. It's gonna be fine. So I love Friends, even though it's not a movie. I love cartoons. Ice Age, when it came out, the first Ice Age, it was so funny. I just love to laugh. And like Modern Family, I guess lots of TV series sort of thing. I just find them, it's my time off, you sit down and just like, okay, now I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna let them like make fun of life and everything's gonna be fine.
Do you see yourself working in comedy like that? Like, is something that you want to do, or do you want to explore again this kind of action movies or drama? It is something that you actually would like to explore and in the next projects?
Yeah, I like all genres. I think comedy for me comes more natural. I think I naturally have like a comedic timing. My personal life is more like a sitcom. Sometimes I wonder, why is nobody filming this? But it's I would love to.
Comes one.
Yeah, so I would love to do comedy. I would love to do sitcom.
What do you expect that people take from this movie? Because it's a movie, and also I'm super curious because you're an actress, and now we have these systems of streaming services and distribution and simultaneous premieres, that we have online premiere, we have the physical premiere. What are your thoughts about the now this new distribution with streaming services, and simultaneously people watch the movie on the movie theaters and then at home?
As a human, I like it because I don't always, you don't always have an ability to go to movie theater, but you want to watch a film. And, but I also understand from a business point of view how movies are important. It also feels special to go to movie theater. I think I'm a little bit old-fashioned. I do like to go, get my popcorn and sit down. And I think it's hard to replace that experience of watching something, whether it's a play or a concert or a film, in the theater with another group of people. It becomes social. It becomes funnier when somebody laughs at the audience. All of a sudden, I find it even more funny. So I do love a theater. It's now we have sort of optionality of both. I guess it could be good because people have a choice whether they want to go or not.
What is your expectations about how people are going to react and receive the film? Because for me, I watched it with a friend, and the reaction was different than mine, because I'm used to watch these kind of movies, and I love action movies. It's my favorite genre, basically, in films. But sometimes people react different ways, and because the borderline comedy, the borderline violence, and the whole thing with gangster and blood. But for me, it's really interesting when all this mix and becomes art. So what are the expectation that people probably, your expectation as an actress, how people is going to react and receive the movie?
Well, I'm hopeful that they would enjoy the comedy of it. They would enjoy this, I guess, a little bit of sort of exaggerated feel, like the fast-paced feel of the film. I think the film is also about friendship, about people getting together and going through a difficult time and showing up during that difficult time to help each other. So hopefully that would be seen and recognized as well.
Dip him. Who's your boss? Bring me the money. Right here, right now. What is that? Duck. There's no going home now. Who sold us out?
I sold no one out.
Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Things are about to get so much worse. Wait! Who are you people?
We're the cleaners.